Cheers. Thank you.
Oh, look at the little baby pig. I haven't seen that pig in a while.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Cheers. Thank you for doing this.
We've done worse shit together, you know?
Okay, so welcome to Farm Therapy. You're my first guest.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, I'm nervous.
I'm a wreck. Do you mind if I keep my sunglasses on? It helps me with my anxiety.
You can do whatever you want to.
So I'm just gonna ask you a bunch of questions about how you got into the business and if you like it and all that stuff, because we're both entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I want you to know that I feel like I started this podcast because I'm so nervous to talk to you. This is so crazy. We talk all the time, but this feels different.
Okay.
The reason that I feel like I'm starting this podcast is because of you. Because
really?
it feels like anytime I have problems, especially professionally, the first person I call is always you, because you're someone who understands it, because you've owned your own businesses. And especially in the food and beverage business, it's not a lot of people that understand it. They think you're rich. They think you have tons of money.
Oh my God.
That every night you're making a bank load of money because you're just selling beer. No one understands sort of the challenges that we face, right?
And it's getting worse.
It is.
It's getting worse.
Right. I'm going to ask you a few questions and we can just have a conversation. My first question for you is this.
I do know how much you love me.
I love you so much. I'll
and
cry
I love
if I talk
you.
about it. I love
you
you so much. It's
I just
important to me that you know
I feel
that.
better.
Okay. All right. Good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you these days?
I don't know.
Wow.
I just feel like I haven't thought about it. You know, I'm appreciative and I'm grateful.
Yes.
I've been going through a grateful stage.
You always are good at being grateful for anytime some things are going on in your life. I feel like you always are good at focusing on being grateful.
Yeah, but I also feel, watch her. Oh my
Jesus, this might have not. This is vodka. This goat just had vodka. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting sideswiped. As soon as I start doing really well, something else happens.
Yeah.
And something else. So it's not like I'm not appreciative or whatever, but everyone in my life is in crisis.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to move forward.
Yeah. Speaking of crisis, it feels like you're someone who has had kind of a lot of tragedy, obviously personally with your brother and your sister passing away, your bar burning down. Do you feel like as time goes on, you've been either hardened from those experiences, or do you feel like they have made a softer version of you?
I think both. I think that I'm softer because all the bad things that have ever happened to me, when something bad happens in the community or someone else, I'm able to, like, I call it boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I show up and I try to be there for other people.
You really do. You're good at that. I'm not good with that stuff. Like, I feel
you're
like
good about calling me or like saying what.
I'm good at reaching out to people. I'm not good at. You're making trays of food. You're showing up. You're asking them what they can do. I'm not as good as you with that. Few people are as good as you as that. I mean, I feel like you're.
And I feel like when I don't do it, I get depressed.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's your happy. Your happy place is helping others. It feels like.
I do like it.
So I want to sort of learn more about your professional career. What was your first job that you remember getting a paycheck for?
Oh, that's interesting. I breaded fish.
Where? Oh, at the Italian place in Troy?
No, I actually did that. They're going to eat my... I breaded fish at Deep's Fish Fry.
At where?
In Troy. Okay. And I worked at... I always had 3 jobs when I was younger.
I worked at Ponderosa. I had a paper route. I sold golf balls.
I was a nanny. I made money, and when I went out on my own, I had money in the bank.
Yeah. Were you someone that when you were growing up was given money from your parents?
Well, I always felt bad because my parents had 4 children, so I always worked.
But I mean, did they give you an allowance? Like, did they?
Well, they tried the best that they could, but I started buying my own clothes at like 14, and I was in drum corps. I traveled around the country for a couple years, and I would raise my own money. I would sell. My best friend Colleen Patrick and I were in high school would sell chocolates and peanuts and all kinds of stuff just to pay my own way to travel around the country with this drum corps.
I feel like the experiences that I had as a kid, like 16, 17, and having cash in my hand at the end of the night made me love cash for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like being in a cash business when you're young, I feel like you really get to appreciate actual cash. I think that's why I still like the $1 at a time sale versus like other types of businesses.
I think that parents are right now are not understanding that they are hurting their children's professional career their life by not making them work. Like I talk to other businesses because I hang out with a lot of different people. And even when I go to Bella Napoli, or I used to talk to the ice cream people, that a lot of parents are really like, well, I want my kids to work, but you're making them work too hard.
Yeah, but how do the kids buy things?
Well, their parents give them money.
That's crazy.
Even going to college,
my parents, obviously, they provided
work.
for us, but I mean, if I wanted anything extracurricular or trips or...
And you go into a meeting, it's not like we know somebody from college.
Yeah, right.
You know, like I was going to all those Albany meetings, and I'm the only restaurant person there, and people in business suits didn't trust other people in business suits, but we all knew each other from when I was working at the Beverwick.
I was just going to ask you about the Beverwick. The Beverwick, I feel like I can't have a night out of drinks with you where you don't bring up the Beverwick.
Well, because somebody comes up to us, right?
Well, and it also feels like that was an important time of your life of learning a certain type of business that you learned at the Beverwick.
Oh my God.
Would you say? What did you learn there?
I learned that what I knew, and I thought I had a really good resume at 21.
Yeah.
I knew nothing.
Right.
And
why? Because their level of quality and service was like next level?
Yes. And I wanted to learn more about wine, and I wanted to learn more about service.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, my first day of bringing a ketchup bottle out, and, the gay waiter almost ready to lose his mind. He was like, we do not do that here.
Oh, my God.
And they put the ketchup in a little ramekin, you know?
Of course. Give a shout out to the person that you always mention at the Beverwick that you feel like taught you how to do everything there.
Well, I had a couple. I had Bill Allen.
Bill Allen. I feel like
Mark Bayshore yelled at me and told me he didn't want to train me because I wasn't going to last. I wasn't going to be there that long. And he's like one of my best friends still all these years later.
That's great. And didn't you also say that back then it didn't really feel like there were a lot of women in the restaurant, like especially owning restaurants or managing restaurants?
To me that, in fine dining, there was very few women. It was like a white glove service. And I worked with some amazing waiters, so people would not even let me wait on them.
Right.
I ended up waiting on people because the staff would make a lot of money and they'd go out drinking and leave me there. So the only reason I met anybody was because I was the last server there. I was the first one there and the last one to go.
Yeah.
I was the hardest working.
And so when you were at the Beverwick, you then left there to go to Justin's and manage Justin's?
I wanted to go back to school full-time as a social worker.
Oh, right.
And I wanted to just cocktail waitress at Justin's, which was a jazz club, and
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to work a few days a week and go back to school full-time because at the time I was going part-time.
Yeah.
And then I work with Rick Orlando was there, and and
oh my God,
Joe Palmer.
The glory days of Justin's.
It was scary. I didn't appreciate it. I was just a woman trying to make a name for myself, and I was an AIDS activist, and Joe Palmer really allowed me to be myself. Yeah,
that was really great. Those were really fun times. And then at what point did you decide that you wanted to own your own bar and restaurant?
I never did. I never wanted to own a bar.
So the first one that you bought was the Lark Tavern?
Yes.
How did it get into your hands?
Well, you have a lot to do with this. What happened was I worked with you.
At Bombers.
And you were like, I didn't like my job. I had a day job, and I was working 2 or 3 things. And you were like, I need you to come work with me because at the time, it was 2 separate buildings. People don't realize this.
Yeah.
Bombers was 2 separate buildings and 2 separate
Well, I did not know how to run a bar, and you were very good at running a bar. So to open up that bar above it, it was so overwhelming, and you opened it with me, and I don't know what I would have done without you.
But we didn't expect to be as busy as we were
that was
either.
Crazy.
It was crazy. We had to double our staff pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But then I was going to go back to school. I was just kept saying I don't want to be in the bar business. I was always in the restaurant business. And then when the Lark Tavern came up, because I was filling in there before you and I did Bombers, you said that I should buy it, so I bought that. But I was working at Bombers and there for a while.
I remember that was overwhelming to you.
Oh,
was that when we had a fight? Remember you always referenced some fight that you said I don't remember?
Well, I was mad at you, but you never knew, obviously.
What were you mad at me about?
I don't want to talk about it on air.
Why? Just give me a general
You
scope.
were in a different space in your life. And
was I straight?
You came out to me way before that. But you were coming into your own, and you were going all the time. And
traveling.
You were traveling and having a really good time for yourself, And then I would try
feeling my oats.
And you weren't you were a little bit disconnected.
I should know that.
You were trying to find who you were.
Yeah, well, thank you for letting me do that.
And where you fit into everything, and that's understandable because it's a hard thing to do, even at our age.
Yeah. How do you feel like employees have changed since you first started?
They're not as loyal, and they're transient. I wish I had the employees that I had at Justin's that were loyal to Joe Palma, who didn't even realize what he had, working for me now, because we wouldn't even take a roll of toilet paper without talking to Joe. We were honest. We were loyal to him. And people they say they're loyal to your face, but they're a lot of it's their own best interest. Although I have some good employees now.
I feel like the thing that's so crazy about employees today is they just won't show up.
Oh.
Jobs I hated and bosses I hated, I would never not show up. I would give my 2 weeks always. They don't even like reply to your messages. It's just a full-blown no-show, right?
And their parents and their families think that's fine.
What do you like least about being a boss?
Oh my God, there's so many things. I never wanted to be the boss. I always end up being the boss because nobody else did their job. So it was just easier for me to be the boss.
Like at other jobs that you had?
Yes.
You were the one that took on the most responsibility? And
and I wasn't the boss, so I had no say.
Promoted, or just you were always bossiest?
Well, I always had a boss that wasn't doing their job and I was doing their job, but then you have no say.
Right.
I'd rather work for someone. I like working for other people. At this point, I'd rather work for someone else because I know I'm a good employee. I might bicker with you.
Yeah.
But I like working for you.
I would like to, this may sound weird, but I haven't worked for someone since I was like 20.
I don't think you're capable.
That is rude. It's
but
like my dream to work. I want to prove to someone that I'm a good worker. I need that validation from somebody.
But you're going to have a hard time working for someone else. I love coming here, and I will take you aside, and I'm like, I just want you to think about it. We'll get back to this tomorrow.
Do you think I'm a good business owner?
I think you're great at what you do. I wish you'd slow down a little bit.
What do you mean?
You already know you're 2 steps ahead of everything, but nobody's in your head, and you're 2 steps ahead of everybody else, and you're always thinking of the next thing. I beg you not to do a big project. Beg you.
There's not. Well, I don't have the money. First of all. Oh, that's one of my questions here. Oh, look. What bank do you feel like has helped you out the most in your career?
Oh, KeyBank screwed me royally. So
I was going to say
they can go. Can I swear?
Yes, of course.
You can go. KeyBank can go fuck themselves.
What was your experience? I mean,
Well, I was their key woman when they went. Hey, no. When they were going through the key women account, and then after the fire, because I had my house loan. And I had all my loans to them because that's what they would encourage you to do. Of course. And then when I had the fire, they were like, "Oh, I need this money." They took my first, check from the insurance company, and everybody's like, "Well, you have insurance." Nobody understands. Like, I mean, until you're in a situation and you had a fire, you really don't understand the insurance part of it. You cannot eat those.
Yeah, I remember you going through it. It was crazy.
It's crazy.
But I feel like one of the things with being a small business owner and banks is that you need them to grow your business, and you put all of your money into that bank.
And they do not appreciate it.
They don't appreciate it, and they don't act like they value you in a way that they will help you grow. At the moment, I'm with NBT Bank. I have a lot of accounts with them. I've had all of my business with NBT Bank for the last probably 20 years. And yesterday, I got a phone call saying that they will not be able to give me money to finish the farmhouse renovation. And I was like, that's unacceptable. I've never been late with one payment in my life with them, including during a pandemic.
Did you go to Pioneer?
Well, no, I have to everything is tied to them because they have liens on other properties that I have.
Right.
So I don't know how to go to another bank who can start fresh. So they have me by the balls. It's frustrating. I keep trying to call somebody bigger up in the bank because you know how Kris Kardashian says, if you're hearing no, you're not asking the right person. So I keep trying to go higher up. And I spoke to somebody today, Alan, who was so helpful. He said that he will figure it out. He's just going to get some information from me. But it was the first time in a while that I sort of felt like somebody heard me because they're so quick to say no and we can't do it.
Things have changed with banks too.
Why?
Well, KeyBank, they wanted a local branch and they were trying to get us all in, but now they're in Cleveland.
But my relationship hasn't changed with them.
Well, they don't care about you.
That's how I feel.
It's the truth.
Well, I don't like that.
I know. That's why I have... The one thing I learned a lot of different things. You asked me before to think about it. I learned that I can't have all my money in one bank.
Right.
I have money in Pioneer because they're a local bank.
Yeah. Do you like
You and I had
Do you
money
like credit unions?
I have one in a credit union because
you definitely have some under your mattress.
I don't have any. Well, I don't have any money.
You definitely have some in your bra right now.
Because I have my lipstick in there, which is a very important part of my life. We all know that. I mean, all the money that I had set aside, I went through after the fire. Because you're not allowed to make any money for the first year while you're going through the insurance.
When you were going through that experience with the fire having burned down the business, were you considering getting out? Or were you like, this is not going to ruin me, I'm going to rise above this?
Well, I was worried about my staff. I had the same staff for like, I still have some of the same staff from 25 years ago. I was worried about so much, and I was up every 2 hours.
It was,
people do not realize the amount of pressure that I was under and how many people were screwing with me at the same time.
And how irritating that you probably heard 1,000 times, she got the insurance money. Everyone thinks the insurance money is like, all of a sudden, here's a check for $1 million, Tess.
I have people call me all the time and said, I just had a fire and I know, and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right, it's crazy.
I just had, had so many loans. I just took out loans on the business and it wasn't our time to renew it. So I would have upped it. So I just had, the kitchen redone and the bathroom was redone. So I had loans out that I would have never, ever recouped.
Yeah. So this card says, when was the last time you were stressed about money?
This week.
Yeah, mine was always this morning.
Yes,
exactly, always.
People think we have money. I think, and you don't ever think about this, but New York State is squeezing the life out of us. And
see, that's where I don't know that stuff.
Our cost of doing business is going up almost 40% since COVID.
I mean, other than I'm not getting in my truck and driving around to 7 different places, seeing who has the cheapest cheese. I'm just not doing it. So at some point you have to accept that prices are rising, change your prices accordingly at the bar and restaurant. I mean, I don't know I can't let that bring me down because it's just like, it's going to happen.
I just feel that the industry's changing because of it.
Well, it's harder to make money in
It's harder to make money, and people... Well, and another thing that I was thinking about, because I knew I was coming here today, years ago, a lot of the bar owners and business owners and staff, we were all really close.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody had a problem.
I'd borrow a case of lettuce. It would be like...
Oh, yeah. And I have that now. Like Jason Pierce will do that. Like Dominic, I had dinner with Yono and Dominic last night.
Oh, at DP's?
No, at Cafe Capriccio. Oh. And they were like my first friends in Albany.
Where's my invite?
Well, because we did a birthday party for Doc at the last minute. Larry Davis did it, and we were there. I would have loved it if you came. The industry has changed because there's so many people that get into it. They have like 3 or 4 places, but they're not plugged in with other people. Where you and I had keys when I left Lark Tavern. I had keys to Bombers.
Yeah.
I had keys to Hollywood that he probably didn't even know I had. I had keys to O-Bar. I don't even remember why I had them.
Right.
But everybody was pretty close back then.
That was nice. You feel like it's different now?
Very different.
Yeah.
And that's where, it's harder to kind of navigate the business because there's so many people that are opening businesses that don't care about their customers. I mean, I think that there's like a transient feeling in the business where like I know my customers and I know my neighbors and I know my, other bar owners and they all matter to me.
Who are some other restaurants and bars in this area that you feel like you kind of are tight with, that are kind of like your brother-sister relationships?
Oh, well, I mean, you're number one. And then, I believe it or not, during COVID, I became closer with Dawn.
Yeah, I was going to guess that. Yep.
And, I've known Yona and Donna. We were talking 40 years.
That's amazing.
Dominic was a baby.
I love those guys.
We've never had dinner together until last night.
What? Well, you've been obviously
we're always working.
Yeah.
And then there's, the Hollow, Jason Pierce. We all kind of help each other out, but back in the day, we were in and out of each other's businesses.
Yeah, totally. Debbie. Well, we also used to be on, Debbie's coming up on this podcast. I'm so excited. But where you are, I guess there are a lot of bars and restaurants near you. I mean, when I was down in the the warehouse
district, by yourself.
I was by myself down there. But when we were on Lark Street,
you had all of us.
Yeah, well, no, but physically, so many restaurants on Lark Street were one after the other. So it felt like a neighborhood of
Yeah, but think about it. When you went down there, you were a little culture shocked because other bar owners
weren't so friendly as they were.
And they were trying to backstab you every 2 minutes, which is a completely different podcast.
Yeah. My answer to this upcoming question is texting them. What is your style when it comes to firing an employee?
You text them?
Hold on a second. That's, yeah. June Farms.
Yeah, so I'd like to make a reservation.
For dinner, a cabin?
Just for 3 of us. It would be my wife, our girlfriend. It's our girlfriend's birthday.
Okay. For dinner or for a cabin?
Oh, dinner. Dinner, please.
Which night? Actually, I'm a little busy at the moment. If you wouldn't mind, if you go to Resi, you know Resi, the app?
No, I don't know Resi.
Go to junefarms.com. There's a farm like about link. You'll see restaurant reservations. Click there. Okay? Okay.
Well, I only have
bye.
Sorry,
I'm not. I'll figure it out.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you?
I need someone else to answer the phone.
You were more patient when we were driving cross country to Florida during COVID.
I take every phone call that comes into this place.
I know that.
No, but how do you fire an employee? I mean, you give a lot of chances. There's been some people, more than I do. I mean, I'm a quick fire. Like even first shift,
I'll be
like
proud of you for that.
For making, I don't want to waste their time or my time. Also, it's expensive to train somebody. A bad employee can quit. That fucker. A bad employee can quickly like poison the well, like spread bad attitude throughout the staff.
Although there's people that you've had work for you off and on forever that should have been fired 20 years ago. Don't make me go there. You take it back.
How do I make you go? Who are you talking about?
I'm not saying it on camera. Like friends of ours. Well,
Leighton?
I mean, Scott Leighton should have been fired years ago.
He was fired a month ago.
Yeah. But if he wanted to come back and he called you, you would say yes.
I probably would.
Yeah. So when I fire somebody or I'm done with somebody, I'm done with them.
But that applies to like my relationships, bad employees.
I know.
They're all
so you're acting
back.
like you're all quick to fire them. Yes, you are. But when they give you a sob story, you take them right back.
Yeah. Who is one of your favorite / best employees that you've ever had that you want to give a shout out to?
Oh my God, I have a few.
Yeah.
Karen,
right.
Alex's family, Chrissy.
A+.
I have a few.
Yeah. You have great
over
staff.
the years.
I mean, you've always had great staff.
I had Alif, I had Victoria. I've been doing this so long. I feel guilty for that question because I'm like, oh my God, someone's going to bitch that I didn't mention their name.
Yeah. So you also own DeCarlo's, the strip bar.
Yes.
What are employees at a strip bar like versus employees at a bar and restaurant?
Oh my God.
How are they?
I wasn't in charge of their schedule. I went up there because I was kind of told I had to.
Okay. You didn't do the hiring?
No, Brandy and Kevin did that. But I would give them a hard time too.
Yeah.
Or give them other opportunities or talk to them.
Would you ever go back into the strip bar business?
It was easier than my business.
That's what I mean.
I thought
Why?
it was easy.
What is it like to own a strip bar?
I thought it was easier than the bar business.
Yeah.
And I feel that there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of the people that work there really had their act together.
Oh my God, of course. I remember serving most of them at Bombers and they were like
thriving,
making great money, smart as hell, like in school.
Have their own business.
Yeah, like A+ people.
I really miss a lot of the girls. I would go there to relax. But we also were a different kind of strip club.
What does that mean?
Well, a lot of them I wouldn't allow drugs and I didn't allow a lot of derogatory, don't get me going. About you.
No, it's not even
You're
open
not
anymore.
patient.
You don't think there were drugs in a strip bar?
Well, they weren't selling them I would look and I would see, a lot of strip clubs, they would be selling it at the business.
Oh, yeah, no.
And
that
you know
was,
me,
that was on the up and up.
I'm looking on the cameras and I'm like, tell so-and-so.
Yeah.
I feel like we weren't at the strip club to make money. We had it to save that property, to save it. Right.
Do you still own the property?
Larry does.
Oh, Larry does.
I never made money there. I just would go there to help Larry out pretty much.
Oh, I like this question. Who believed in you when no one else did? Who was someone when you were like going through your struggles, like showed up for you and was like, is one of them Tom Moore?
So I have some good answers for you here.
Yeah.
And this is why you say I go off on tangents. But when I first started doing well, anybody that was really good to me, I sent a card.
Aww.
Flowers. The woman who taught me how to wait tables, I sent her flowers.
That's nice.
And then I had 2 people offer me money. It was not my family.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, Over the years, like when you start to like doubt yourself, there's always people that show up. I feel like spiritually, God or whatever you believe sends somebody like Chris Carabinian, who was like a mentor to me. Peter Islam was good to me from Metroland. I had so many people that were good to me, but Tom Moore, who's crazy, offered me money. He called Lark Tavern, and
he's a very good friend of ours.
And he's out of his mind. Yeah. And he goes, and I was just telling the story last night. He goes, I know, Teresa, I know that I'm barred, and I know you're not going to let me drink at your bar, but I'm worried about you having money, and I can give you like $10,000.
That's nice.
A week later, this is a great story, and he's going to deny it. A friend of mine comes in from out of town, and he wasn't as famous as he is now. And he was in the airport coming back because he sold Australian wines. And I always supported him with whatever. And then we would
say his name.
Joe Carr.
Joe Carr.
Joe Carr.
I love that you're good friends with him. Can you get him on this podcast?
Yes. I've tried to get you to have him here for wine dinners.
I know.
And you dropped the ball. People. He would have been, when he's in town, he loves this shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to have like a wine dinner with him. And Joe's always fun, and he's very loyal.
You always speak very highly of him.
And I like his wines, and I love him.
Yeah.
But he's also somebody that's offered me money when no one else did.
That's nice. That's a good quality in someone. How do you deal with stress?
It's changing as I get older. I used to walk, and now I'm trying to meditate a little, or I'm trying to move through things. Before, I would get stuck. You just don't want to get stuck. You just want to move through it. When things are going, you just got to keep moving.
Yeah, keep moving forward. You're a little Stevie Nicks-ish.
I am.
And I feel like, in that sort of spiritual, earthy way. Have you always been like that? I mean,
no.
I feel like when I first met you, thigh-high boots and cheetah print and very, very fun and, wild. I don't really remember you being as spiritual then. It felt like it happened maybe, I don't know, like you started with the crystals and started with, I think maybe your own intuitiveness started kind of like surfacing.
Yes, I'm an empath. But when I met you, I was already an empath, and because you were like, you're doing what? You're doing, because I was studying Reiki and energy work and all that.
Oh, Reiki, that?
Yeah. Yep. Your hands are cold. You're going to have to work on you. But yeah, I was doing that, and you were always kind of intrigued by it. But I was doing that probably during the AIDS epidemic is when I really realized I needed to hone in on it.
Yeah, that's great. I love that you do that. What advice would you give to someone interested in opening up a bar or restaurant?
I feel that every time I give them advice, I'm very negative, so I try not to give advice.
I had said to people that if I asked that question, she's going to say, don't do it. I used to be so excited to like champion people into certain spots. I don't know if I would say do it now.
I think it's harder to do it.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the name on camera because I will feel badly. There's a person who we know who bought a bar and restaurant. We were in there the other night. He's the owner. Is going from table to table, talking to people. All the tables were dirty. There was a buffet from like hours ago, was not cleaning a single dish off the tables.
Happens all the time.
The staff was running around, going past dirty tables. I can't even imagine.
My fucking mind.
I can't even imagine like doing that. Like to me, the whole point of this all is like the service, the keeping it all like together and clean and organized.
You've also done every aspect of the business.
Yeah, but even when I was like rolling burritos on stairs, if I peeked around the corner and saw a table that was empty, that would be a priority. I mean, you got to keep your place. It just was like,
it's a different world.
It's a different mentality, I feel like.
It's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Well, I've gone into other businesses, and I was saying this the other day. Somebody was asking me this, where the hostess walked out, and I was like, oh, shit, and I grabbed up.
What do you mean? Like quit?
I knew she would come back, but I was like, and I got up and I was hostessing, so people always thought I worked there, and I was like, shit, like I'm studying. This is like 20 years ago. But not that long ago, I was in a place and customers were yelling at the hostess, and the bar owner's counting money and walked out, and every table was dirty. I grabbed a bucket, I cleared all the tables, I wiped the tables, and I yelled at the one woman that was being rude to the hostess. And then I feel
like I would say, like, unless you love cleaning tables and cleaning glassware and like being behind the bar, being a bar back and sweeping, mopping, like keeping the place clean and doing the worst parts of the job, then don't do it. I mean, you have to really appreciate that part of it.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't. They want to stay home.
Yeah, but then you're going to fail.
Sometimes, unless they have the right people in place, but the right people in place
I guess. I mean, like a small business. That sounds like a rich person.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean like people that are like trying to make their dream happen, you know?
Well, the good thing about you is your dream's always changing.
Yeah, that's true.
Where I like that about you because you're always like thinking about how to twist the change. What else you want to talk about? Anything?
It's hard to keep rolling with the punches of things. And for me, the hardest part about being like a business owner is that I don't know how to be a normal person anymore. I feel like I talk to so many people that come here a day that I feel like a pull toy, that it's like I have my set 50 answers for the same 20 questions I get asked 100 times every day, you know? And it's just like, I don't even necessarily know how to be a happy, normal person in life around here because you're just so constantly talking about work.
Or dealing with problems.
Or dealing with work, yeah, exactly. You asked me
if I was happy. I was like, oh my God, like between everything that's going on in the music school and I was dealing with drama there today.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's all unnecessary. A lot of the crap that we deal with is unnecessary.
Well, is it unnecessary? I mean, it feels like it's kind of part of it all. Well, I don't know how to get out from under it. It's just like, it feels like this is what I've signed up for. Until I am out of these businesses, I will never know what it feels like to be calm and happy. I accept that.
Do you think you can be calm and happy?
I think I can be, I know I can be happy.
I know you can be happy.
I don't know if I can be calm. I don't really know what that is. I mean, calm feels...
Well, I feel like, okay, so...
The only time I felt calm was during the pandemic. I hate saying it, but it's the truth. That was when everything was closed, and it was like the first time I was
calm when we were driving cross-country together.
When did we go cross-country?
Well, we were going to Florida. We stopped everywhere.
Florida, I was going to say.
I mean, I feel that, like, when we're together, we calm each other.
That's true. But I mean, even then, it's like the phone's ringing. There's like, you know, the emails are coming in.
The problem I see with you, if you ever kind of slow down, is you're always thinking of the next thing.
Not so much anymore.
Well, you're doing this podcast now.
Oh,
and then you're going to worry about a fucking pool.
But it, I mean, I
actually
you're going to
worry about...
No, but it actually feels like, I mean, it's called farm therapy, but it feels like it's therapy almost for me. Because I want to talk about my problems with people who understand me.
That's good. I heard you're going to have Margaret on. You got
Margaret.
Debbie. These are all people that I really, really adore.
And people who, when I see, we sit down and it's like a real conversation about how things really are. There's no,
bullshit.
It's not fake. Yeah, it's not like, things are great, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I don't like dealing with people where they ask you a question, you answer them honestly, and they don't like your answer. That is fakeness to me.
Another thing that I find to be very difficult about sort of our positions is that I don't know who likes me and who doesn't.
Do you care?
Know, I do
Sometimes
care.
You don't.
I do care.
Sometimes
I'd like
you
to
don't.
say I don't care, but I do care. So, I mean, I don't care necessarily if I run into somebody at the grocery store who got fired like 5 years ago and they were like a really bad worker or something.
Because you're usually good that way, like where you're like, you can compartmentalize everything.
But, you know, I've made the very grave mistake, is that the right adjective? Grave mistake of hiring a lot of my friends who are no longer not my friends. Well, and that is a lesson. I tell everybody that who's going to try to start their business. Everyone says, like, don't hire friends. I'm like, whatever, it'll be fine. It is never fine. It is a relationship ruiner. Unless you've started out as coworkers or met in a work environment and then you build a relationship, that's different. But if you have a totally separate relationship and then you hire a friend, it's over. It just, even if you don't fight, the dynamic changes and you don't really want to hang out with them socially as often anymore. This is, I mean, at least for me. But I would say most people who I know that have hired their friends regret it. Would you agree with that?
Yes. I think you made a good point, like you said, if you haven't worked with them before.
Right.
And the mistake I made was giving too much power or
trust.
Trust in people that were my friends, and I shouldn't have. And I was focusing on the restaurant and my relationships and trying to make things happen instead of paying attention to the money.
You know, I feel badly when I started Bombers and then brought Jimmy on and Dimitra on at Noche and then brought Mark and Greta. We were all really good friends. And then it's just like, because of work stresses, everybody in that group is like in their own little universe. None of us hang out ever. It's just like unfortunate.
The reason you and I work is we have the same values.
Yeah.
Well, just think about it. Like the way that we think, the way that we feel, we have a similar value system.
Well, I think we both ultimately care about the customer and care about like our reputations and like want it to be a good place. And it's not always about the money.
The other good thing about you and I, we're not afraid to say, go fuck yourself. And focus on the customers that are really great instead of the ones that aren't. I think we learned that from Lark Street.
That was a good like boot camp place to like learn the business. It really was.
And a closeness.
Yeah. I also wanted to text people to be like, do you have any questions for me? Not to put you on the spot, but I mean, you've asked me a lot of questions, so that's fine.
Yeah.
You also know me. A lot of people that might be coming on don't obviously know me as well.
How do you think that you've changed in the last year or 2 years?
I think it's not a happy answer. I think I'm sort of learning to accept my lot in life, which sadly I think is about service and is about running this farm and sacrificing a relationship and sacrificing any sort of calmness in my life. I mean, I love going to Miami in the winter. That's like absolutely amazing. That's like my little brain turn off.
People
and
think
like
you're not working. You're working every
oh my
day
God,
there.
The phone rings constantly. I'm getting ready for the next season. But you know, it's like, I couldn't even imagine dating somebody who would want to date me. It sounds like a nightmare. I don't know how they would put up with it. I don't even know how to, I mean, they would be like, let's go away for a week. I would never.
That's always been our problem. Nobody, I mean, we're nightmares. I don't, you know.
Although we go away for a week and it's like kind of amazing.
Shut up. I know, but I feel bad because, you know, the relationship that I have suffers because my phone's constantly going and I'm cutting the hours down at McGeary's.
Yeah.
And the other thing we haven't talked about is that I'm putting McGeary's back on the market.
Oh, that's look at that. The goat ate the card.
What happened at McGeary's is somebody was looking to buy McGeary's and they went around and told everybody they were buying it. So anybody that was looking to buy McGeary's...
Why can't you say who it is? It's such a juicy person.
Well,
was there
the mayor's husband was looking at it. And the mayor went around telling everybody that they were going to buy the bar. And so I had quite a few people interested. And of course, you know, I could sell the bar by itself.
Yeah.
Or I could sell the bar with the business on the building.
Which is, anybody would want that. I mean, you always want the building.
Not everybody wants it because they can't afford it.
If anybody's looking to can buy the building and the business, always buy the building.
You told me that when you bought...
I've done it every single time. What could go wrong?
You were smart about it because you overpaid for a building that everybody said you overpaid.
Bombers on Lark. Everyone's like, don't do it. It was like $285.
Well, it started off a lot more money than that. Yeah, I think it was $375.
My brain is.
And but you might have got it lower. But we were also friends with the owner.
Yeah.
And but Scott. Now I love him, and so now I would sell just the business. And then a year from, and I would hold paper on the building because...
that's smart.
And that way I can buy... Larry, I have a partner who's great, and I can pay him and buy him out.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
But I would like to do that soon. So I'm putting the business back on the market.
Just to wrap things up, I wanted to say thank you for joining me on Farm Therapy. You're my first guest. No one would make me happier. It's called Farm
Therapy?
It's called Farm Therapy. Yeah, obviously because we're at a farm and it feels like therapy for me. Every Farm Therapy guest gets to stay in one of our cabins. So I'll be reaching out to coordinate that with you, but you can stay in one of the wellness huts or the Hobbit House or one of the Airstreams or the lodge, which you love.
Well, I've only stayed, so I've been a part of this farm before any of this was here, and I've stayed here once, right?
With me at the lodge?
With you at the lodge. But it's weird because I've never stayed any other time.
Yeah, well, now you'll stay again.
I want to stay with you.
We can stay there together.
Yeah.
I'd love it. Anyway, I love you.
I love you.
For so many reasons.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
On the next episode of Farm Therapy.
And I know these because it's the same dirt bags that when I was 19, you know, like they're just...